Hello, welcome to the Falcon, a footy podcast. I'm Clarky.
I'm Cassie.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Jess.
It's round one, guys. Let's fucking get into it.
Yeah.
Break for theme song. Yeah, what's our theme song? Brown, 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 brown. Guys, round one is finally in the books and the Falcon is back to tell you all about it. How are we all doing?
Pretty good.
Good now that there was an actual round one with a full week of games.
Just in time for a round of buys.
For 3 rounds of buys. Fantastic.
I think the worst part about this round one, the only detractor I might say, is that we were so close to having a full host win spree. A full host dinner, if you will, with all the trimmings. Sorry, Cass.
I'm sorry to the rest of you that I could not bring a win to the table.
Let the team down again.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, because you made your way down to Cardinia Park, didn't you?
I sure did. Yeah, I did the drive down to Geelong. A friend of mine was in town from Perth and got some tickets, and I went along with him. I had a spare ticket, actually. There was meant to be another person coming. He had to fly back to Perth, so he missed it. So I put the call out to a few people. Ended up taking friend of the show, Jessie Munro, down to Geelong.
I was going to say that is the friend that you were taking Jessie, and then you were like, from Perth, and I was like, Jessie's just been to Perth, so I guess it's kind of...
No, so there were 3 of us there. We were sitting directly in the sun. Neither Jessie nor my friend Paul had hats. I had remembered to bring my hat. Very smart. I also, officially a mum, my friend Paul was like, damn it, I need some sun cream. And I was like, hold on a minute. Reached into my bag and I had some sunscreen in my bag. So he was like, that is the most mum thing you've done yet. I was like, anyone want a snack? Pulled out a muesli bar as well. No.
Does anyone need wipes?
Anyone? Yogurt and fruit? So yes, we were sitting directly in the sun, but it wasn't too hot as in temperature-wise. It was just that the sun was on us. But hear me talking about the weather and the vibes because I don't want to talk about the results of the game.
I have a question for you. What were your thoughts on Geelong?
The town?
The town or the
team? The place and the concept.
Well, I have been before. I'd actually been the week before.
Oh, there we go.
For a wedding. But Jessie had never been before, nor had my friend. So we didn't really see the town of Geelong, but as we were driving, I was like, and there's the arts centre, and here's the town hall. So we were kind of just seeing the sights of Geelong as I was looking for a parking spot. Big cut. I kept calling it a city. Jessie told me not to refer to it as a city.
It kind of is.
Why?
Is it not?
Is it not the city of Geelong?
It's the city of the big sign.
Yeah.
So welcome to the city of Geelong.
Yeah.
I think
Jessie also tells us not to mention the drug saga, so I'm inclined not to.
He's delusional.
Yeah. No,
on both counts.
It's totally fine. It was interesting because I haven't driven to a football game since I lived in Perth and was a Fremantle supporter, and the games used to be at Subiaco Oval and like driving out of Subiaco. So I kind of haven't driven home from a game and been stuck in football traffic in a really long time because I live on a train line, so I can get the train to the MCG or Marvel now. So that was
I feel like I have to ask, for this pilgrimage from your place to Geelong, did you prepare, was there like a rev up playlist like on the way? Was there like, how far is Geelong? Geelong feels like a car game's length distance, at least from where I live.
And over an hour, it was an hour and 15. I plugged my phone in and the cable didn't work on my phone. So we listened to Smooth FM the whole way.
Yeah. I mean, that has got very Geelong vibes about it, though. Yeah. Geelong feels like a very Smooth FM kind of place.
Yeah, playing on the tractor while you're out in the field.
I tell you what, though, the drive home from Geelong after a loss is a long drive.
Silent.
It's a long drive. Yeah, it's a long drive.
No Smooth FM for losers.
It was actually a point, as we were getting closer to Geelong, we passed a big farm and I pointed over. I was like, there's Jeremy Cameron's farm. And Jessie went, what is it? No, it's just some random farm.
It's the farm they take all the free agents to try and get them to sign up.
Yeah, it was just someone's farm.
Now, Cass, we must talk about the game.
Okay.
we must talk
Sorry.
I don't know how this happened.
I was having a really good time until I didn't.
For listeners at home who don't have the scorecard in front of them, Geelong won this by 10 points after Fremantle led for most of the game.
Literally all of it.
Literally all of the game. They won this by 10 points, and it was almost heartbreaking as a neutral.
Yeah, we didn't score a goal in the last quarter, so that'll do it.
That will, in fact, do it.
It's because we scored all of the goals, like literally all the goals we've ever scored in the first quarter, which was really fun. That was kind of like, my group chat was going off just being like, sorry, who are we? Who is this team? So it was really fun to begin with. And then, yeah, it wasn't.
And then Shannon Neal just took over the game.
Yeah.
I'm sensing a lot of pain.
Well,
Sensing a lot
they
of-
have because they've got goal songs for the players, Geelong, like their home ground. If you don't know who's scoring the goals, like from where you're sitting, you just hear the same song over and over, and you're like, wow, that guy is scoring a lot of goals. So yeah,
Who is he?
Shannon Neal, we were just getting tequila over and over, and by the end of it, I was dying for a margarita.
I feel like Tequila is one of the worst songs you could pick for it as well, because it is inane in its...
Sean Manor had Hey Baby, and I was like, you know what? It is impossible to be upset when Hey Baby is playing. Then he literally kicked a goal 2 minutes later. And I was like, okay, wait, hang on. Not so fast.
I was driving in the car while this game was on, and it was, like, in spite of your pain, Cass, it was actually quite enjoyable listening to the radio host when Shannon Neal kicked like 2 or 3 in a row. They were getting up and about and just singing Tequila. Like, it was fantastic to listen to.
On the radio. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. Well, it was interesting. The crowd felt they were losing for a lot of it, so they were very quiet. I was like, gee, this is very quiet. But I even thought, the Freo contingent behind the goals, that support crew normally start the Freo chant, and they kind of, I don't think it ever went around at all. But yeah, by the end, the Geelong crowd was loud. They were loud around us, and they kind of diminished us into our tiny little seats.
Looking at the scoreworm is very depressing for this one. From I can see exactly where it started going all wrong.
Was it the end of the third quarter?
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
And look, I do want to talk about my favourite little fella, though. I thought Isaiah Dudley had the game of his life. He is he's so fantastic. I don't know if it's because he's small and that's maybe reductive of me. Just be like, oh, I love him because he's a little fella. I just want to like tussle his hair a little bit and go, yeah, you're good at football.
And as I said earlier to you in the week, and he's still taller than me. He looks so tiny, but he's still a tall person generally.
So, you and did you also say that you'd be looking up to Isaiah?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I could probably still take him in a fight though.
Well,
I can put him
if
on
it
my
came to
shoulders
that.
for a game of chicken, I reckon. In the pool.
In a trench coat to get into the match.
One ticket, please. That's clearly you and Isaiah Dudley. He doesn't need a ticket. We'll see. We'll see about that.
Yeah, no, he was great. Murphy Reid looked really good. There was just some real cohesion happening, and we were just running and going for it, and it was so impressive. And then I guess what happened was Geelong cotton on. They cotton on, did they?
Hey.
Slip that one in.
They cottoned on to our game, and Chris Scott made changes, and then Justin Longmuir did not make any changes.
Justin Longmuir said, I've got enough fun in my life at this point.
I don't need to win this game. I don't need any fun.
I don't have time for fun, so therefore we must lose.
Do you know what would not be fun,
enjoy
though? At that stadium, where I was sitting on the side opposite to the interchange bench, and the Dockers coach's box was up behind us, and he would have to come down and run across the entire oval because the players' run like down into the locker rooms was on the opposite side of the oval for him. So I think Geelong might have been on the other side, but yeah, poor Justin Longmuir had to run across the oval 4 times.
Really?
Eight times a game.
I guess I just never even considered that as a problem in if I was a coach,
Because
in
normally,
my
I guess like
fantasy
at Marvel
world.
or something, they'd probably have, like you see them come out for the quarter time, but for halftime, I guess they just go down the back somewhere and end up in the locker rooms.
Backstage.
Whereas this one, he had to run across the entire oval to get into the locker room.
Really?
Yeah.
That feels like really poor planning.
They've done that deliberately to try and force like a hammy or something.
To the coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, J-Lo's out. Hamstring awareness. He won't be back for the second half.
Oh, thank God.
It's almost like he wasn't.
How do we know that's not what's happened?
No, we've already established it's the no fun rule.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, sorry.
Before we move on from this, Cass, J-Lo in trouble yet? Is he in trouble yet? I know it's only round 1, but is he in trouble?
No, they love him all. They all love him too much. It was interesting that he came out and kind of blamed opening round
Oh my God.
for our loss, or the fact that Geelong had already played an extra week. And at that point, I think, because we were maybe the third or fourth game of the round, and at that point, all the teams that had played opening round won. After that, it all blew out the window, and that stat meant nothing. But yeah, it's just interesting that he came right out and blamed it. And Caleb Strong was like, well, that's interesting because he hasn't said that to us in private. It's just interesting that he's going out and saying it to the press and not to us at all.
I love that. That's so real from Caleb.
Yeah.
He's like, I
we're
played
not saying
well.
that
I don't
at
know.
all.
I don't know
Yeah.
what happened. I did good. This is everybody's fault, but mine, says Caleb Sorrell.
Yeah, he did quite well, didn't he?
You know who else did quite well, though? And that's your boys, Chris. The Doggies, who absolutely smacked the Giants by 81 points. And I think annoyingly, the rest of us as hosts, although we wish your team well and we don't have any particular ill will for you, Chris, we did realize, like, this feels like a smug dog supporter time.
Well, I'm very rarely smug because we always fuck it up. So, like, even though everyone's going, oh, premiership favourites, oh, they're off to a flyer, they've finally fixed their problems, I'm like, we'll probably still miss finals. We'll make the wild card round.
I hope not, because I predicted you to finish second.
I mean, it's very nice win. It's good win. I think what's been really encouraging so far this year is our backline. Like, Buku just was supposed to be at Carlton. We held him to his contract, and now he's become a great defender all of a sudden. So Buku, Lobb, and O'Donnell down back. Lockie Jakes in his second game, 29 disposals. Apparently the most for a second gamer for us since Libba, I read today.
That's good. That's good vibes.
That's good company.
He looks very good. Connor Butterick looks like a really good pickup from the Suns. But I think the biggest thing is Aaron Norton's form. Although I do have to say, I read today Jay Clark made a wild, outlandish claim today where he said we were all tipping, something along the lines of we were all tipping Sam Darcy to be the best player in the game. Turns out he might not even be the best key forward at his own club. And I was like, Jay Clark.
What crazy thing to say about a guy after one game.
Yeah. I mean, Sam Darcy still kicked 4. He didn't have a bad game. But yeah, Naughty, he's just leading up really well. So yeah, very enjoyable to watch.
I agree.
This is really concerning for the Giants because we thought that they were going to be okay last week. Like they came out last week, they smacked up Hawthorn, and everyone was like, good. This is good. Good for them. Clayton Oliver had a really good game. Everyone was happy for him. Callahan managed to get through unscathed. And then it's really hard, right? Because it is round 1, so I don't want to react too volatile, but at this I don't want to react with
Volatility, I believe it is.
Yes, I don't want to react with volare. But like 81 points, if you're a team that is seriously wanting to contend this year, even with the outs that they have, that's a lot. And I think very early. It's kind of the period where they should be the most fresh, right?
Everyone's talking about like Tom Green being out and Aaron Cadman being out. I think the biggest player they're missing is Sam Taylor. They desperately, like Fonte looks really good. He started the season well. They've got some players that are filling gaps, but they're desperately missing Sam Taylor. He's the one that they need back, and I think he's still out for another 4 or 5 from memory. So, yeah, could be a tough start to the season for them.
I mean, they did win last week, so they've got something to show
exactly.
for it.
I don't know, man. 1-1. It's just, I don't know if that's redeemable, Jess.
I mean,
can you come back from 1-1?
They could have spent millions of dollars and brought in multiple new players and still started the season 0-2. St Kilda.
St Kilda. Well, let's jump across to the Clark's residence. The lid is absolutely off. Everything is good.
The lid's not even in the building anymore. The lid's in the recycling plant.
Yeah, yeah,
I
absolutely.
like how I'm after an 81-point win, I'm like, "Oh, no, we'll probably still miss finals." After one win, you guys are like, "The lid has been thrown out the window."
I apologized to Jess in person where I was like, we actually might win the flag.
I told you guys.
I believe now.
You heard it here
And you
first.
laughed at me for putting my own team number one. And you, come on, guys, you gotta have some faith in
You
your
know,
team.
To our credit, Cass, I think we all forgot that you're not the straight man that we expect you to be sometimes. Sometimes
so
you like to throw
kooky,
in a
that Cass.
curveball.
I do like, just to peel back the curtain a little bit here, I do like that the notes that the Clarks have left down on our behind the scenes run sheet here is: first point, FlagDees. Second point, we may never lose again. Third point, suck shit Saints. The lid is well and truly off.
Yeah,
It felt good on 3 levels. Jess, I want to jump to you before I uncork my own bottle. What's your take on the first game in the Stephen King era?
Oh my God. It was so riveting to watch them. But it was nice after the frustration I think that we all felt last year watching, especially as a supporter, but just watching that that lack of cohesion but knowing that the talent was there. Like you've got Christian Bertacco who's playing sensationally now for another club. He was there the whole year last year and we saw nothing of that. Like we had Clayton Oliver and he's, last week came out, played well. And it was just infuriating to watch them just flop every single week. And then they've come out this year and there's been so much hype, I think, over the preseason that we've been watching avidly going, God, I really hope this is the real thing. And then it all kind of hinged on the Sunday afternoon, 3:15 shitty time slot game. And we were all kind of going, oh, here we go. And it actually was so good. Like they played so well. You could see that the vibes were there. Like it was like they actually enjoyed playing again. They weren't perfect. Like there were still mistakes. There were still things we can improve on, but we still stuck it up them. And it was brilliant. And we got to hear our song and it was incredible. And everybody's kind of going, are they going to be at the bottom? Like, oh, it's a rebuild. Maybe it's not a rebuild. Maybe we're actually like a contender because everybody doesn't want to die when they go to work at Melbourne anymore.
I
Maybe
wish
the
my
rebuild.
team won round one as well.
Sorry, just sliding that one in there. Yeah, you know what? I completely agree with that. It's just, it was nice coming into the season and actually being like, oh, the playing group looks really happy. Like even our social media has just been better this year. Like it's more relaxed. It's more about it's more focused on fixing those culture problems that we had. Like Stephen King did an interview with Josh Galich for AFL.com, and he talked about the conversations they had with Max Gawn after he was appointed, what it was like talking to Christian and Clayton about whether they wanted to stay or move on. And he said, look, he's like, if they wanted to stay, I was all for it. And like, yes, it would have been difficult, but I was never against them staying. But after the conversations that we were having, it seemed mutually beneficial, and that sucks. And he really, in that, talked about like starting with a clean slate and trying to build something special. And you can really feel that he did exactly that. And I respect that more than, even if we lost this game, I respect that much more than the capitulation that has been like the last few years of the Goodwin era. But even objectively, like this game was fire to watch. Like lead changes back and forth. It's like high scoring, like 120 to 107. Like that's a huge score for modern footy. Jacob Van Rooyen kicked 6 goals. He's good at football. They finally fixed him.
I was gonna say Van Rooyen's just all of a sudden prime Wayne Carey, just without the unpleasantness.
Yeah, just without beating women. He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
Unpleasantness.
Yeah, the unpleasantness of being a cunt, Chris. Jacob Van Rooyen has always had this in him, and I'm so proud of him to go out and kick 6 goals. His song is Rock the Casbah, and that's an absolute like zinger. Myercheck played his first game for Melbourne, kicked 3. Caleb Windsor playing on the ball, like finally getting his sort of more prominent role in the team that he was sort of put for. Jack Steele getting the revenge game.
Yeah, that was
so early.
That was
I
very
love it
good
when
to
they
see.
start the season with one.
Latrell
So
Pickett.
good.
He was so exciting, Latrell Pickett.
I just I'm happy to watch this team. I don't mind if we lose. If this is like, if they're going to bring that intensity and energy, I can be proud of that compared to a team that's like just floundering and then also losing winnable games. Something that happens in our house though, and I want to point this out. Jess and I both struggle to take the pressure when it's really close. And this game was tight right until the end, to the point where Jess nominated me to sit there and watch the end of the game to make sure that we won before later rewatching with her after assuring her that there would be no heartbreak. And if that's not real supporting, I don't know what is.
It's funny because in a slightly similar vein, I can never watch a Fremantle game. Even, like what happened on the weekend, we were 50 points ahead at one point, and Jessie was like, oh, that's nice, you're going to win this. And I was like, no, we're Fremantle. We might not. And sure enough, we didn't. So it's funny, like, yeah, you didn't have that feeling with your own team that, like, it's just never certain. Even though, you were like, what, how much ahead? 20 points ahead? And you're still like, watch, let me know if we do win. I can't stand the heartache.
It was a point early in the fourth quarter where they were within a goal, and then we sort of kicked away and they started just sort of chipping back at us. Then Harry Sharp kicked one, Max Hall then kicked one back, and then Bailey Fritsch kicked the sealer at the very end, which is just really good.
There's also been a lot of talk about in that last quarter. Obviously, Nazaya kind of struggled to get into the game again a little bit. And then in the last quarter, kicked a very big, crucial goal and immediately got pulled off the ground, where he looked pissed off. He was yelling at the assistant coach and then went straight on the phone with Ross, but then got stuck on the bench for like 7 minutes. It was an odd decision to make.
Oh, it was fantastic to watch. I was like, just pack up. Go take your boots off. You're finished. We don't need you here. You're not adding anything. Just take yourself out. I'll give you 7 minutes back in your day, and you use that however you like. Enjoy.
It was bizarre to hear Ross talking about it as well. I don't know if you guys saw his comments about it, where he's like, yeah, like, I'm glad you focused in on that. And then he's like, I told him to, really, like, he's like, just play whatever position you want, go do whatever you feel like you need to do. I wrote him a blank check, and I'm like, you kept him on the bench for 10 minutes though. Like, it's not really a blank check. It sounds like a punishment.
So you pulled me off of the ground after kicking a goal to say, good job, go do whatever you want. Like,
I might just sit here for 10 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, Ross, thanks.
I will say, like, as much as it is great to get this revenge, there were some players there are a lot of players on the St Kilda side that I'm like, objectively in a vacuum, I'm like, Max Hall, fantastic. Winhager has had a bit of a revitalization this season. Nass, I think, will build into it. I don't think he's quite ready for the attention that he's receiving now that he's kind of announced his skill to the world. And that's just the way of life. I think it's only a matter of time before he gets off the chain. But most importantly, TDK getting absolutely outgassed by Max Gawn. Suck shit. We may never lose again.
No, but he was incredible though, Gorney. Didn't he play the whole final quarter with no break?
Yeah.
Like, just absolute. And I look at him and I think, because I'm looking at him and going, I think we're a similar age, and there is absolutely no way that we are on the same level. Like, you and I we're living very different lives for being on this planet for the same amount of time. Like, that is incredible.
They say you have the same amount of hours in the day as Beyonce.
Yes. Yeah. And look how Max Gawn's using it.
Just not the money or the wine bar that Max Gawn has.
Yeah. It'll be very interesting to see if St Kilda's gamble of just throwing money at players. I mean, it'd be interesting to see if it does make a difference. It's still early days to see, but, how many teams are taking a gamble like this and just chucking millions at people to try something different? And everyone else is kind of doing the same old, so...
Speaking of doing the same old, Cass, I'm gonna transition us to one of the games I want to talk about this week, which is Carlton almost losing to Richmond again. Carlton won this one by 4 points, which was the you know what? It's the real opening game. Let's be honest, people. Let's be honest here. Tom Lynch, I will say, single-handedly won the game for Carlton. Carlton had nothing to do with this. Tom Lynch kicked 2-7 and might be one of the most washed players in the AFL. and he's got real rat energy. Like, I look at him and I'm like, I don't like you.
I messaged my friend Sanjay, friend of the pod Sanjay, listens all the time. I said, do you have any comments you'd like to make? He's a Richmond supporter. Any comments you'd like to make on the pod about Tom Lynch? He said, Tom Lynch, for how much you get paid, my God. My God. So that's his comments on that.
The crazy thing is he was marking everything. Like, he was dominating Carlton's defense. He just couldn't kick. That was the one thing that let him down.
Which is surely a key part of his job. That's your job.
Almost the entire job, really.
I don't know
That's
if
your
you
job.
guys saw this week, but he and his partner announced that they're having a baby. She's
Yes.
pregnant, and all the comments are basically like, oh, so some things you don't miss.
Yeah.
At least you know some things you can get straight. And then apparently she's due in September. Someone went, oh no, he's not going to be able to play the grand final.
Jagger Smith is amazing. I don't know if there's much more about this Carlton team that I'm excited about. Like, it feels so, like, this felt like such a slog to get to a victory for them. And I don't know if this year is actually going to be as different as we all kind of wanted it to be for them.
Did anyone really want it to be different?
I said people, you know.
Probably two things. Carlton's ability to just completely turn to shit after halftime needs to be studied. Because almost every game, they look great in the first half. At halftime, you're like, oh, maybe things have changed. And then they just don't kick a goal after halftime. I don't know what happens in that little 15-minute break. I don't know what Vossi does to them, but he's doing something wrong. The other thing, that Jagger Smith trade from West Coast to Carlton may go down as one of the worst trades in history.
That's not true. West Coast also traded for Tim Kelly.
That is true.
So it's not even the worst trade that West Coast has made this century.
This is why they shouldn't be asking for priority picks.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Do you think that Vossi's in some serious... Like, I feel like even after a win like this, I think Vossi's still in some trouble.
Well, this wasn't a win.
Yeah. Yeah, this was luck. This was luck.
It was a win on paper.
The numbers don't lie.
I find it interesting when he's standing on because he spends most of his time on this down by the bench. He doesn't really go up to the box, does he? And I feel like whenever he's standing there looking at the players, I feel like what's going through his head is not gameplay. It's just like fuck. I got to win this. I'm going to get fired. I better win this. Oh no. Like, it doesn't look like
I feel like he's
about the game.
mentally scrolling through Seek instead of watching the game and planning his next thing. He's the advert with Nick Watson. I mean, we need someone in blue, 150k a year, and it's in Carlton. Him going, ding, yes, sign me up.
If he could be smoking a cigarette on the bench, he would be. Every game. That's the energy that I get from that. Just like the real stress. What is it? Is it not Matthew McConaughey, it's Ben Affleck smoking the cigarette, like the meme.
Yeah.
It just looks real stressed. That's Vossi right now. Look.
I feel bad for him though, because I kind of like him. I don't know if he just gives me like dad vibes, but like I feel a bit sorry for him. And in the same way that I feel sorry for Cripper as well, to be honest, because I look at him and I just think, oh God, the light has just gone from behind your eyes. Like
it really has, hasn't it?
Yeah, like it looks sad. And I'm like, I feel like I'm watching in real time as his dreams of winning a premiership just slowly dwindle into the distance.
Christian Petrarca playing for Melbourne.
And the other one I was thinking was...
Heartbreak.
Oh, I just had it now, forgotten.
Sorry.
It was the other one I was thinking was Zach Merritt at Essendon.
Yeah.
All that talent in that team.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know what? That talent was really on show when he racked up 30 touches in a fucking absolute ass wrecking. Which was crazy. And you know what? I don't really want to talk about that game. Essendon lost to Hawthorn. Look, it was a 62-point win for Hawthorn, but it was a lot more than that because I think they were just like, yeah, I'm tired a little bit. We're just gonna get to the end here. But what did come out at Hawthorn during this week was, and right after we recorded last week, actually.
Yeah, I think the news came out as we were recording.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Dylan Moore. was sat down in front of some cameras, and
It was Dylan Moore and Connor MacDonald. It was two of them.
I only saw the Dylan Moore like 1-to-1 where he was sitting with it's the guy from Channel 7, and name escapes, but he's sitting there like dead down the barrel, and he's like, "Yes, I was arrested in the US of A for going for a joyride in a scissor lift." And allegedly, there were some additional charges that included having drug paraphernalia that were dropped. They were officially dropped. But since then, it's kind of come out that there may have been, at the very least, a joyful night on the Bevs involved in the scissor lifting incident.
Well, I don't know if any of you have seen it, but about an hour or two before we started recording tonight, the body cam footage has now come out as well.
It hasn't.
Yeah. So there's body cam footage. And my favorite line in it, so the cops, essentially, so Connor MacDonald and Dylan Moore are on the scissor lift. They're in the air. And the cops are like, "Did you not know this wasn't yours?" And they reply with, "No." And the cop just keeps saying, "So you didn't know this wasn't yours?" And they're like, "No." It's just so funny.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. Okay, cool.
It's about a minute and a half, 2 minutes long.
When I saw some scissor lift footage on my reels or something, I just thought it was I thought it was a spoof. I didn't think it was the real.
Or is it a cherry picker? It looks like a cherry picker.
Yeah, it's kind of like a cherry picker, yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. But he was trot out to apologize for this because I assume that it was threatened that this would come out.
That's what I wanted to know. Did they keep it from the club? Did they tell the club and the club kept it from everybody else?
I believe the club was aware.
Yeah, from what I read, the club was aware, and Dylan Moore said at some point this week that he almost felt a sense of relief once it came out because it had basically been hanging over them for the last month or two. I will say, after the game, Channel 7 interviewed him, and, like, I understand it's been a bit of a shit week, but he made out like he'd been through the hardest thing in life ever. He was like, "It's been a really hard week," and it's like, mate, you allegedly did some coke and then hijacked a scissor lift. Like, in America, it's not that bad. Like, come on.
It's not even the worst thing someone in the AFL has done in the last 12 months.
It's not the worst thing someone from Hawthorn has done.
Allegedly. There's allegedly some other people who maybe did worse things at Hawthorn. You're right. I don't know. I feel like it felt like a lot of pomp and circumstance for kind of not much, where I'm like, yeah, probably don't be doing that. But also, I don't know, maybe I'm not in the hawkosphere enough to be like, oh man, I'm seeing Dylan Moore all the time as like this big time, prominent figure. I think this is the first time I've ever actually seen him on TV. Like, I was just like, who's this guy? Oh, that's what Dylan Moore looks like. Oh, one of the Bender in the US in the off-season. Shocking.
And Connor MacDonald has a rat tail, so kind of expected.
Yeah, rat behavior. I don't know. How do we all feel about this now that we've kind of broken it down in our way?
I think I was most impressed that he had a $100 note in his pocket.
A rolled up $100 note.
In this economy?
I mean, that's like a $200 bill. Think about the exchange rate.
Yeah. What is most likely to be trot out in front of a camera for?
Me?
Yeah.
Chris?
Yeah.
I'd probably for saying, making threats that I can't follow. Yeah, like probably for squaring up to someone and then getting my ass handed to me. So
for fighting Isaiah Dudley.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which was a hard
Attacking
fight
a
to
minor.
watch because he was on Cass's shoulders, which was like the ultimate, like a WWE level betrayal as he walks out.
Oh.
Look, speaking of people that should probably walk out, Brisbane Lions are 0-2. Give it up now, Brisbane. Three-peat's dead. I'm changing everything I've ever said about Brisbane. Sydney won against them by 44 points, and I don't envy any team that has to play Sydney this year.
It might be different now that Errol Goulden's basically dead.
4 months he's out.
Yeah.
Yes, dislocated his shoulder in what looked like a pretty normal tackle. Just an awkward landing.
It was an awkward landing, and you could tell straight away he looked so pissed off on the bench. Like, the commentators were saying, oh, maybe it'll just be a normal dislocation or he won't need surgery. It'll just be a couple of weeks. But you could just tell by the look on his face. They'd already told him, yeah, it's fucked.
It's probably because he picked himself with his first pick in his draft, his fantasy draft, like everybody else did.
Absolute insanity. The Supercoach teams were cried out in pain across the world. The entire world. What do you guys make of this one? I know Brisbane were missing a lot of personnel, but I don't know if any of you guys watched this game, but Sydney were just way more dominant than even missing personnel Brisbane should have been able to deal with.
I think that it highlighted to me that apparently Brisbane's back-to-back premierships were won by 5 players. That was all they needed. Was you take out Zach Bailey, Harris Andrews, Hugh McCluggage, can't remember the other 2, a couple others, and yeah, they just turned to shit.
Who's the other one? Was it Wilmot?
No, Wilmot played.
Yeah, this is an interesting one because it was meant to be a big old grand final preview almost. I think people were thinking. Instead, it was just miserable for everybody. And speaking of miserable for everybody, Port Adelaide lost to North. And North look like, the shoots, guys. The shoots that we talked about last year.
They're shoots, here they are.
They're shooting.
Here they are. The flowers are starting to flower. No,
Yeah,
they look good.
I'm ready to get the mower to start cutting them down again. Because Kangaroos won this one by 46 points in an absolute domination of Port Adelaide. Did any of you guys watch this one?
I watched bits of it, yeah.
I watched most of it.
Yeah, they looked pretty strong.
It was interesting with Port because it was pretty neck and neck for the first half. And then I felt like the big move that happened was in the third quarter, Clarko sent Finn O'Sullivan to Butters in a defensive role, and Butters had 1 touch. He had 15 touches at halftime.
Yeah, I know. He was my captain this
yes,
week.
Screwed a lot of people.
He was 33% of all Supercoach team captains for round 1, so screwed a lot of people.
I actually I had the captain on Petrarca, so that was a good result.
Well, my vice captain was Brodie Grundy, and everyone knows how good rucks are this year. So,
But I felt like
ruined fantasy and Supercoach. I'll say it.
I felt like that was the big turning point in the game. Was Butters was just completely taken out, and that was when North just went nuts, and their centre clearances were just insane. Just before halftime, and then coming back from halftime. There were about 5 or 6 in a row where it was just tapped down to LDU. He'd run in, hit a target, they'd kick a goal. Like, it was so quick and fast-paced.
Yeah, I really love that LDU is getting a bit of love in that sense because he really looked back to himself, and I think there were a lot of question marks from specific dickhead journos that questioned his value. I won't name names, for obvious defamation reasons. But it begins with lame Norns. With,
No idea who you're talking about.
Yeah, that's good. Masked.
Allegedly.
I think it's really good to see him, Sheasel. Was it Tom Powell as well?
Tom Powell had a good game, yeah.
Dylan Stevens?
Our group chat kept going, who is Dylan Stevens?
Who is this guy?
I heard the commentator say at one point as well, like, I think everyone forgets he was a high draft pick when he was taken by Sydney. It's just he did nothing there. And then when his first, I don't know if he's been at North for 1 or 2 seasons, but he's done nothing at North until on the weekend.
He did everything in one
year.
And then the addition of in SSP Tom Blamires. I don't know which it is. I've heard it both ways. Yeah, just all around good signs for North, but maybe a sign that the Josh Carr era of Port Adelaide is going to be as messy as we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as people have said, like, I can't remember, I was watching a clip this morning, it might have been Footy Classified, it was one of the 100 footy shows that's on a Monday and Tuesday. They were kind of talking about it's going to be hard for Josh Carr. That looks like they're going to have a rough season, but also then you're probably going to lose your best player at the end of the season. So, also,
sucks to suck.
I know Horn Francis was being booed mercilessly by the North crowd, but he also just didn't look great. So, yeah, there's a lot of alarm bells for Port Adelaide.
Yeah, it's really tough, and I think there's going to be an adjustment period for them that I think they'll come out of, but maybe not this year. I think it's just sort of time to go like, okay, cool, this needs to be completely fresh. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Like, better to do it early than later,
Yeah.
right? Like otherwise you end up with just a few seasons where you end up dwindling, and I don't know who North are playing West Coast next week, so I don't think
Well,
we'll
that's
really
nice
get.
for them.
Yeah, I don't think we'll really get a barometer of exactly where they are in terms of the table.
I was going to say, they're going to be like
Couple weeks.
second on the ladder.
Yeah, by percentage alone.
Yeah.
But look, it was Josh Carr's first game, and I'm going to transition very seamlessly into my 5th quarter game of the week. It wasn't just Josh Carr's first game this week, it was Stephen King's first game, and that got me thinking, how many senior coaches have won or lost their first games? So I've created a quiz that is essentially, did this coach win or lose their first ever game? So I've got 6 coaches here. That's right, there's 2 for each here, and a potential tiebreaker. I'm going to start with Jess. Jess, can you tell
Oh,
me?
I knew you would.
Give me a number between 1 and 6.
4.
Number the 4th. Jess, I need you to tell me, did Dimmer Hardwick, in his Richmond era, win or lose his first game as senior coach?
Oh my God, when even was that?
20.
Was I even in the country?
No. Absolutely.
No, I wasn't in the country, so that feels very unfair.
Well, you pick the number. It's random.
Okay.
I think you were in the country when any of these coaches took over, apart from
Okay.
maybe Simon Goodwin, who's on here.
I don't remember. Let's be real. I didn't start watching AFL until we were together, and that was like
Before Simon
fairly.
Goodwin. It was in the handover. Anyway, tell me, you're buying
Okay.
time.
All right.
Dimmer
Okay.
Hardwick at
I
Richmond,
am.
did he win or lose his first
stalling.
game?
Okay. Lose.
Lose?
Yeah.
Lose? Chris Cass, do you want to get a guess in there just for funsies?
I have no idea.
No idea. He lost his first game. Well done, Jess. That's a point for you. Yeah, he lost his first game with Richmond. I should have written down what the game was, but I didn't do that. So we'll just move on. Christopher, give me a number between 1 and 6 that isn't 4.
Ooh, I was going to pick 4.
Ugh, you're out of luck. You're fresh out of 4.
I'll go 2.
Number the 2. It is Simon Goodwin.
Oh.
Hey, Chris, did Simon Goodwin win or lose his first game as senior coach of Melbourne?
I'm going to say he won it.
He did win it, Chris.
Yes.
That is correct. Simon Goodwin won his
Good win.
first game.
Yeah, it was a good win.
Simon. Cass, you can pick 1, 3, 5, or 6.
3, please.
Number the 3rd. Cass, I'm asking you, did Nathan Buckley win or lose his first game as senior coach at Collingwood?
Ooh.
Lose?
He did lose his first game.
Didn't he basically inherit almost a premiership team from Mick Mulhouse?
You're asking the wrong guy, Chris.
Because I think they made the grand final either in his first or second year.
His first year was 2017. So was it the year after 2018? 2017?
Yeah, it was 2018. It was 2018. They made the grand final against West Coast. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Well, they still lost it, so unproven. And now he's at the Cats ruining it over there.
I just have to say,
yes.
The vision of Buckley and Chris Scott in the coach's box together looked incredibly awkward. I don't know if anyone else saw it, but they flashed to them every now and then, but they didn't show like footage of any of the other coaches. It just looked like it was the two of them sitting in the box by themselves. I know it wasn't, but that's what it looked like from the camera angle. And they just looked like they were sitting there in silence every time. It looked incredibly awkward.
I like the idea of them just sitting there going like, so what are you doing after this? No, nothing. I might get a La Poqueta. Which is the only thing I know about Geelong, because the one time I've been to Geelong was with Jess, and we went to La Poqueta for dinner on the main street, and then we went to a time zone that was down the street.
Nice.
Cass is muted? I can't hear her. Can anyone else hear her?
No.
I'm leaving that in.
Sorry, I had to blow my nose, so I muted myself to blow my nose.
Okay, very good. Okay, as long as I'm not losing my who am I back to? Jess. Jess, can you pick 1, 5, or 6?
6.
Number the 6. Jess, Justin Longmuir. Did he
Ooh,
win or
J-Lo.
lose? Yeah, did he win or lose his first game at Fremantle?
Do I get any context about when this was?
Okay, you know what?
I don't know.
Find that. It was round 1, 2020.
Ooh.
Okay, that's actually quite recent. Okay.
Lockdown year.
2020.
Would have been just pre-lockdown as well, and it was against Essendon.
Ooh. Win?
He lost his first game,
Damn.
unfortunately.
Why am I not surprised?
It was all in the third quarter. I should have known.
Who did I do next? Was it Cass or Chris?
It was me, I
It
think.
was Chris. Chris, can you give me number 1 or number 5?
We'll go number 1.
Number 1. Chris, did Chris Scott win or lose his first game?
1.
He won?
Yeah.
You sure about that? You should be, because he did.
Yeah.
Chris Scott won his first game as senior coach at Geelong, and that, Cass, leaves you with number 5. Cass, did Luke Beveridge win or lose his first game as senior coach of the Western Bulldogs?
I'm going to say lose.
Lose. Unfortunately, Cass, he won his first game,
Good.
the Bulldogs, which means that we are left, listeners, at the end of today with an unfortunate double victory for Chris, with both his team and himself winning the 5th quarter.
Luke Beveridge delivered the wins for both of them.
Just for fun, the tiebreaker was, who do we think? James Hurd, did he win or lose his first game as senior coach at Essendon?
Lose.
I'll say win.
Jess?
Lose.
He won. So, Chris, you double
Oh.
win this week.
Oh, God damn it, Chris.
Triple crown.
Triple crown.
Collusion.
And that's, actually, you know what? There is one more thing I want to talk about just before we wrap up, because I forgot that I want to talk about it. Player goal songs. We've mentioned it a few times this week. And we got a little bit of spare time. I'm not giving you back this meeting time, folks. We're booked for an hour, and you'll be here for the full hour. Now, Melbourne this week announced all their player goal songs. A couple things about this. One of them was Jess and I looked at some of the songs and went, "The fuck is that?" One of the Max Gorn's goal song is the song that Kanye West sampled for one of his songs. Father Stretch My Hands. That's it. But he chose the original. And it's basically a gospel song. And I was like, this is weird, because you try to listen to the song and pick which bit is going to be the gold. Anyway, lots of people were really unhappy with this, I saw on social media. I saw some people talking about it as an Americanization of AFL, which I don't think any American sports that I can think of play songs after a player scores, unless that's incorrect. A lot of people were like, I just want the ambience of the ground. I don't want to be having to listen to 30 seconds of music. And Jess and I were quite divided on this, because I quite like the goal songs. I think it would be fun if I kicked a goal and then a song that I liked played, so I could just be there like rubbing it in someone's face and just being like, yes, I would like to rock the Casbah further. So I wanted to poll the group. What do we think of goal songs? Jess, I'm going to go to you, because I know that you are already opposed, and we had quite a debate about this. It was a long debate.
I just, I get it. I get the songs and stuff, but like we mentioned earlier, it's repetitive if the same person kicks a couple of goals. And I'm just kind of, I've been thinking on it since we had our off-air discussion. And I think what bothers me the most about it is that I don't get to hear the whole song. So I feel like it's like, it winds me up that I only hear like a shitty little bit, and it's the same shitty little bit over and over again. Like, I just want to hear the whole thing, but we don't have time for the whole thing. So can we just have the cheering, and like, that's enough? And like, I agree with the ambience thing. I feel like that's the whole point of the football.
And this is the thing, right? When people say ambience, because I also further thought on it after we had this discussion in our dining table, the ambience that people refer to, in my experience, has usually just been some random drunk guy going like, "Oi, I'm for," and I'm like, yes, ambience of the football.
Or even after the goal,
midgets.
it's just them going like, G long, clap, clap, clap.
Yeah.
G long, clap, clap, clap. Like,
AFL chants suck. You're right.
they also
Mads, I
suck.
agree.
They really suck.
They do.
Melbourne's is they spell out Melbourne's. They go MELBOURN, Melbourne.
There's an E at the end there, but that's
yeah.
fine.
That's fine.
I think I quite like the players' songs personally, because Fremantle doesn't do it. They do, I think the players picked 3 songs, and then they put a vote to the fans this year to pick maybe 2 or 3 others. So there's going to be 5 that they cycle through. But when we do the Purple Haze game, the Starlight round, they play that Starlight, can you hear me, my friend? That song.
Yeah.
After every single goal. And that's when it's bad. When it's the same one song over
What do you mean? You
and
don't
over.
love the Superman lovers?
Over and over. I was like, can't you look up other songs that have the word Starlight in it for like a Starlight Express song or something? Yeah, that's when it's bad, when it's the same one over and over. But a few of my friends from Perth who went to the State of Origin game said it was so good to have Charlie Cameron on their team for once because they did goal songs for the State of Origin and they finally got to all sing along to Country Roads and the entire stadium was just like getting behind it and getting into it. So when it's a good song that everyone knows and can get into, like the Tequila song people were getting into, and Hey Baby is a good one that people can get into. But I think unless the crowd are getting into it, it does fall a bit flat unless it's a real rev up song.
I feel like I heard Sweet Caroline playing for one of the Melbourne players, and I heard the crowd really getting into it because we were up and about. Chris, where do you land on this?
I like the player songs. I think it adds personalization. I also think that, when Charlie Cameron retires, Country Roads will go down as like an iconic song in the AFL. I always thought it was really funny whenever Joe Danaher would kick a goal and they'd play
Let It Go.
Let It Go. So yeah.
Someone on the weekend had the Macarena.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Is it Jezza Cameron that has Macarena?
No.
I thought he's got a really daggy one.
He does. I can't remember what it was. The only one I questioned on the weekend was Christian Petrarca's. It was some EDM rave song. It was very odd to be playing.
Yes. You know what? I actually thought the same thing when they played his, and it's just like full burn
yeah.
Whoa.
It was a bit
Guys,
odd.
I'm at the football, not the club.
Yeah.
The club. Fremantle did try a thing where there was the first goal of the quarter they were going to play that Coldplay song. I think it's whatever. Don't know Coldplay songs.
Viva La Vida?
Maybe that one. But they wanted the crowd to sing Frio along with it. Frio, Frio. But it kind of didn't work, and I think they've scrapped that this year.
Well, see, I would rather hear the player songs after they kick a goal. Also, shout out to Errol Goulden, whose goal celebration song is Errol by Australian Crawl.
Very good.
Great.
Fantastic. I would rather hear that than the stupid Never Tear Us Apart at the start of Port Adelaide games.
So
Look, I agree with you on that. I would sacrifice that to
Common ground.
Enjoy the goal. Yeah, I would enjoy the goal songs if it meant I never had to listen to that and watch those stupid Port fans girding as they hold their bloody scarves in the air.
I say that, but then if my team had something similar to that, I'd get right behind it.
My team, some reason when we play at Marvel Stadium, they play Lose Yourself by Eminem, and no one knows why. They've done it for years. No one knows why.
I've been to a few games.
Yeah.
Where that happens, yes.
I've just been just quickly running through all the Geelong songs, and not one of them has the Macarena. So I think maybe Cass, you were just part of a rev up, a crowd rev up.
You hear what you want to hear. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and you want to hear the Macarena right after Tequila. Weirdly, Reece Stanley's selecting Golden for this year by K-pop Huntrix, K-pop Demon Hunters fame. Yeah, I think they're fun. I understand people's need for ambience, but I feel like the hate for it feels very forced. Is that
honestly there's sometimes I struggle to articulate why I don't like them. I just don't like them. I can pick little reasons and be like, oh, maybe it's this or maybe it's this, but I just don't like it.
That's fair.
I just don't like it. I don't know why. It rubs me up the wrong way. I think it ruins my vibes hearing a snippet of a song that I didn't ask to hear. Maybe it's the lack of control. I don't know. Especially Country Roads drives me absolutely bonkers. I hate it. I absolutely hate, it sends me into a rage every time I hear it. Probably because I don't support Brisbane.
To be fair, I had a similar experience on the weekend when I was watching the Hawthorn Essendon game, and I saw the people in the crowd of Hawthorn wearing the Wizard hats. And I was like, I don't know why, but I just fucking hate it.
Cheap.
Did I say in the group chat that it feels even cheaper now that they have Hawthorn branded Wizard
Yeah,
hats?
you did. Yeah.
As opposed to when that guy just bought a shit ton on Amazon and handed them out. That was kind of organic and cool.
I think that we've spoken about this before, but I think this is Hockball has turned into a content farming now, where they're like, oh no, we got to monetize the Wiz, he's on the SeaCads now, he's hot property, and they've got Ginny doing the he's on like some weird sponsorship company thing that he does an ad for, and I'm just like, nah, this is the Hawkball vibes are behind us. They're gone into full-blown cringe territory. And before we head into full-blown cringe territory,
Wait, I just have to just
Oi.
Yeah.
oi, I just have to.
She's
Jack-
grabbed the wheel. I can't stop her.
Jack Martin has the Macarena as his.
Okay.
There we go.
And Jeremy Cameron is the gambler.
That was it.
All right.
There
Wrap
it
up the
is.
episode,
That's the
everybody.
dagger
Wrap up
one.
the episode.
Okay.
And
All right.
hey, thank you for taking a gamble with us, listeners, and listening to the Falcon, a footy podcast.
You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
That's it. And we'll fold this one right into next week. But make sure you follow us on socials at Falcon Footy Pod. We are on X and we are on Instagram. We also have a YouTube page. If you use YouTube to listen to your podcasts, our podcasts are going to be there now in audio form. That would help us out if you subscribe to us over there. Make sure you engage with our content, please. Please, it helps us. It makes more people want to talk to us, and maybe they might listen to us, which is even better. You can find us all individually on the internet as well. Chris, where can people find you?
At Lowry_16.
Cass, where can people find you?
I'm at Cass Vag.
And Jess, where can people find you?
At Swanky Jess with 2 Ys. And I promise I'm going to start actually using Twitter a bit more if I'm spruiking it.
If you're yeah, that's right. And you can find me at Quantum JC, or you can find me at The Footy Mailbag, which is my Supercoach podcast that I do with a friend of the show, Damo. Until the round 2 happens. Until the round 2. I was going to say until then, but I didn't realize I didn't specify when then was. Until then, listeners, we will see you in the next show. Goodbye.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
The entire team at the Falcon Footy Pod would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians and cultures of the lands and seas on which we live and record this podcast. We pay our respects to all First Nations peoples, elders, and ancestors, and thank them for their continued connection and contribution to this country's national game.